Tus labios besar. Bebé, no digas que no, si lo somos tú y yo. Cuando hablamos con calor. Bebé, no digas que no, si lo somos. What's up, everybody? You want to go live? If you want to go live with me. I sent you an invitation, Chris. I don't know if you got it. We're going to chat. We're going to have a great live. This has been the best lives. It's been voted as the greatest live on TikTok the last 3 days. So let's see if we can do it again. I'm sure we will, actually. But we get in dialogue, okay? So jump on and let's talk. Let's find out what's happening. I have about an hour and a half. So we'll get into it. Tus labios besar. Okay, anybody want to go live? Wendy, what's happening? What's up? Try to join live if you can. See if you can talk. I want to get in dialogue with somebody, okay? Send an invitation. If it allows me to do it, I'll do it. Here we go. Here's somebody. I'll invite you on. I sent you an invitation. Your business consulting. All right, let's invite Hope. Hope, jump on. Jump on real quick, Hope. Bebe no okay. Anybody gonna jump on? Hey, mommy. Everybody jump on. Let's talk. We got a lot to talk about, but I want to talk to somebody. I don't want to talk to myself in the air, okay? Yeah, we have girlfriends. Very shit. I'm a relationship expert because I have 9 girlfriends, yeah. So it qualifies me for that. Restricted for some audience. Okay, fine. I'm restricted for some audience, whatever the fuck that means. All right, there we go. We got Yogi Chris on. Put the camera. There you are. Let me invite these guys. What's going on, everybody? Jump on. We're about to get into a dialogue. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about the mind. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about everything that we need to talk about. We're going to talk about what's on your mind, okay? This my show, my live, I came up with the name. The name is... I can hear you, Chris. What are you talking about?
Just having an audio issue, but I'm getting it.
Oh, you're getting it? All right, let's go. Let me see. Invite. All right, I invited you guys to jump on so we can start dialogue. We got 2 people on right now, me and him. Let's see if we got one more person. We'll get the ball rolling. Roll the ball to each other. Okay. Contigo. What's going on? What's exciting so far since I've seen you last, Chris?
Oh, just the base came together. Taking advantage of those samurai quantum leaps that you did, and so there was a lot of coordination, different posts. People volunteer for different posts, so the base is just going to get better and better the next, really just indefinitely. I want to see if everybody performs all their duties in the next week, because if they do, it's going to be night and day. And then I want to plan the party. We're going to do our first house party is my goal, and ideally that happens before Halloween, so that the Halloween is not the first house party; it'd be the second one at least.
That
So
sounds good.
that's kind of what I'm looking at doing.
And then whatever was happening last night, did it resolve with that person or no?
Nothing's been addressed about it. I didn't have any more to say about it, but he did come to the base meeting and he participated, and I'll just kind of let it melt until there's a window of opportunity. I don't feel the need to push it to bring it up.
Right. I can see that. Okay. Yeah. All right, everybody, jump on. What's on your mind? Sherry, jump on. Okay. Palm Morand, jump on. It's okay. I could imagine if I saw me, it would be hard to jump on, but you could do it. It'll be worth it. Let's get on here. Let's talk it up. All right. Inspirational is going to jump on right now. Inspirational, jump on. Your name is Inspirational. So we're going to have an inspirational talk with Inspirational. Let's see what we got. Foo. Do you know it says that there is 239 people right now, Chris? Does it say
that? Yeah, I captured the screenshot. I captured the screenshot. I think it was at 278 when I got it.
Oh. Right on, everybody. We haven't even started. Wait till we get started. What are we talking about? We're just getting the ball rolling right now. Okay, good night. We're just getting the ball rolling right now. The topic organically develops itself. It's normally about communication. It's about life, okay? It's about stuff that we want to talk about. So jump on and tell me what's been going on, okay? Somebody could comment, what's been going on with you guys? What's on your mind? We could take that topic. We could go back and forth on what you say. What's something that's happened today? Here's a question. What's something that happened today that you looked at and you let me see. What's a good question? But it's too much to type. That's why you got to talk about it. I can't ask that question for typing. It's got to be a typing question, okay? You did your makeup. I did a little bit of eyeliner. I didn't do anything else because I don't put anything else. I just put eyeliner. So if you're talking about that, I have a little bit, but it faded. In the morning, my eyes looked incredible. What do the beads mean? They're a gift, and they signify some spiritual beliefs I have. What's good from Central New York State? What's happening? It's full harvest moon. Okay, Dad. Hey, what's up? It's my son in there. My son just showed up. My son Jason. Get on, train wreck. I sent you an invitation. Jump on. I sent you 2 invitations. Hard to ignore 2. Okay. Desert Dog followed live creator. Thank you, Desert Dog. Here we go. Mo is on. Mo Plus. What's up, Pops? Says Jason. What's up?
Hello.
Hey, Mo. What's happening?
Hi.
Hi, Mo. Where are you calling from?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. You have such a sweet, seductive voice. Why?
Mississippi. Yes, I was just scrolling. You called me, right?
Yeah, I think I did. I don't know. You jumped on and I sent an invitation when it says it. So what? Wait, do I hear crickets in the background? Is it nighttime over there?
Yeah, I'm out here smoking. Is that all right?
I don't give a hell. You do what you want to do. So
now
you're surrounded by what? Trees and grass, and what's it look like?
No, it's just my backyard, but it's fenced in, but there's some woods behind that.
I see. Have you ever seen Bigfoot?
No, not around here, but I have seen demons.
All right. Here's the topic we're starting. Let's start with you, okay?
Okay.
How often have you seen demons?
I feel like I've only seen 2 demons. But that's sleep paralysis, and that's probably a whole nother different thing.
Maybe. Let's talk about it, okay? We talk about this stuff all the time, and it's fascinating. Yeah. So when they call it sleep paralysis, it prevents us from seeing what it is. It's kind of like when psychology came around and started telling people you have ADD, ADHD. That prevented people from focusing because everybody was labeled, right? If we label these experiences at night, because let me ask you a few questions. Let's say we didn't call it sleep paralysis. Let's say there was no such word, because it's a weird word, okay? But let's say there was no such word. I'm going to ask you a few questions, right? If I was going to ask you this, when you went through this experience at night, did your entire body feel the experience or no?
Yes, I felt like I was being held down by something, like a dark.
Okay. So I'm asking you a few questions. Your whole body felt it. Did you have emotions?
Yes.
Yeah, you had emotions?
Yes. I was
Okay,
scared as hell.
right. And you had thoughts about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
My
your
eyes were
thoughts,
wide open.
your thoughts, your emotions, and your body were all aligned, experiencing one event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now here's what I want to tell you. Right now, same thing is happening. Our body, thoughts, and emotions are experiencing this event, right?
Uh-huh.
This goes away tomorrow into a memory, into a picture, like it's gone. Once it's done,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes yesterday. So now, when you and I contact today, tomorrow, we're going to contact it in our mind, and we're going to look back, and we're going to experience this moment by experiencing what? Our emotions, our thoughts, and our sensations, bodies, right? And even
Mm-hmm.
though it was one moment that passed and went away, right? We don't call it a dream. We don't call it a paralysis. We don't call it imagination. We say that was the past. That was the past. But I experienced it. And we know
Mm-hmm.
we went through it because we experienced it. So let's for experiment. For experiment, we're not going to call it sleep paralysis, and we're going to see what kind of an experience you had. So you're sleeping. What's the first thing that happens?
In my sleep paralysis?
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, like this. It was almost like a Dementor from Harry Potter. Do you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
but I want you to take the movie further back. So you're sleeping, or you're laying in bed, or take us how it begins.
I'm sleeping and I'm in my dream and I'm at my childhood house
So you're
for
dreaming at
some
this point.
reason.
Got it. You're
Yes.
dreaming.
Yes.
Do you wake up, or do you stay in the dream?
Okay, so the figure comes upon me and I have my hands up
But
near my face.
are you dreaming this, or do you wake up and this happens?
I wake up and my body is like that,
Oh, what's
the way
good?
that I was in my dream, and I'm stuck like that.
And when you open your eyes, you're like this. And with your eyes, with these eyes open, are you seeing any figure, or are you seeing the wall and ceiling? What do you see?
Okay, okay, in my dream, I saw the figure come up on me, and then I instantly wake up and I'm just staring at my ceiling, but I cannot move
I see.
for
You're
a little
frozen.
bit. Mm-hmm.
You're frozen. And then when you finally come out of it, right? When you finally come out of
Uh-huh.
it, do you notice that those images, they kept going for a while, or no?
Yeah, like I can't forget it. Like sometimes when I wake up from a dream, I can't remember the dream, and
Mhm.
but this one, yeah, I did.
Right. And that's one of the things I've noticed, because I don't think we're dreaming that anymore. Okay? I don't think we're dreaming that. Let's pause. I'm going to meet the other two people. We're going to come back to this conversation. It's a good one. Okay? Gloomy Pop Tart. What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. I was just getting my mic set up a little bit. What's good with you guys? What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about the idea of demons, actually, but we went the route of, in quote, sleep paralysis, but we're
Wait,
going to
hold on.
question that. But the question, let me get a little more
Oh,
info
I
from
can hear
you.
you guys now. There we go.
Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm in Santa Monica, California.
Okay, what's the weather like?
Kind of like getting
Today?
towards fall, so a little bit cooler, like probably
Like
70s.
70s? Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
How
nice.
have you been? Did you grow up there, or you just moved there?
I grew up in Malibu.
But
I've
you're,
lived all
you're
over
from
the
California.
city.
You grew up in California.
Yeah.
Have you ever been outside of California?
I lived in Chicago for a couple of years, and I lived in Europe for about a year.
What did you notice the difference between these places, man? What did you learn anything being around different environments, geographies, and people?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Can you share something?
Um, in fact, that's probably the reason why I plan to expatriate, and just move back to Europe altogether, probably in the next few years. If things cool down there regarding the hostilities and political stuff going on there right now. But yeah, I was happier there. I think the food's better. The people are a little bit more chill. They walk more, so they're healthier. You don't see like morbidly obese people all over the place.
Yeah.
And when I lived in Chicago, that's the complete opposite. You see a lot of morbidly obese people
Is that
all over
right?
the place. A lot of violence, a lot of cold, a lot of hot.
Wow. But that
Yeah.
what you're describing in Chicago, I lived in California for a long time. That wasn't my experience in California. What's been your experience in Malibu and wherever you?
Oh yeah. California is chill. I mean, I've never had any problems in this city. And I've lived all over. I've lived in South Central a couple times. I've lived in Beverly Hills. I've lived in Culver City. I've lived in downtown LA. I've lived in Hollywood multiple times. I pretty much just sleep in Santa Monica. I'm always in Hollywood or downtown LA. All my friends are there and shit. So
Right on. One second. Someone says I want to join. I want everyone to join. But if you're sitting where I'm sitting, it gives me a button that says invite sometimes. And the person who wants to join, I don't have that. So if you figure out how to join, you guys don't gotta ask me. Just jump on.
They probably have to follow you, dude. Or no,
Okay,
because
well,
I'm
someone
not
says you
following you
gotta
here. I'll
follow
give you a
me.
follow though.
I thought that too, but I heard some of the followers couldn't do it either the other day. So, okay, Gloomy Puppet, I'll get to you in a minute. We're gonna meet next person. Jessica, you're back.
What's up?
What's
Oh
going
my
on?
God. Dude,
No video?
last night's no, not right this second. I can't. Last
Okay.
night's conversation though, so hit today. Oh my goodness.
Really?
So much so.
So she was here yesterday. We killed it, and we're gonna kill it again. So today, hold on, somebody else is coming on. Let's just pause real fast and move to Sherry. Sherry,
Hey.
what's happening?
Hey,
Hey, you made it.
how you doing?
I'm good. Where are you calling from?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. And then Jessica, where are you calling from? Just for everybody.
Phoenix,
All right. Phoenix. Is Phoenix Arkansas?
Arizona.
Oh.
Arizona.
Okay, here we go. Everybody listen. Here's what's happening. Okay? I'm gonna go deeper than where we started. So there's this thing called sleep paralysis, okay? And there's the idea is that while you're sleeping, you're dreaming, and your body can't move and you wake up and your body can't move because you had some kind of a terrible dream, right? And they call it sleep paralysis. Okay, now that's a label. Now let's just say there was no label called sleep paralysis, right? We never even heard of it. We end up on a planet, we don't know what the fuck it is. We know that people have these horrible experiences, normally has to do with demons and holding them down, right? Demons holding them down, sitting on their chest, pushing on them, creeping on them, and basically holding them down. My first question is, if it's sleep paralysis and it's some kind of fucking bullshit like that, here's my question. How come everybody that I talk to with sleep paralysis always has a demon on top of them holding them down? Why? Is it a repeating dream?
I have a different experience with that. I can share it when you're ready.
Yeah, how was yours?
Okay, well, when I lived in Chicago, actually, I was like in my early 20s, and so I was really getting into like occultism, but I didn't really quite know what the fuck I was doing. Now I'm a little bit older, still into occultism and shit and mysticism, but a little bit more reserved. Yeah, so I was just like delving into this shit nonstop, and fucking I had sleep paralysis one day, and I wasn't on any like drugs or anything like that, fucking, or any like I was completely cool, and healthy and whatnot, but I had been just delving into a lot of occult shit. I fucking, in my dream, I was turning into a fucking demon. And, I'd been playing with some pretty nasty books. And, I was turning into a fucking demon in my dream. And I started, like, snarling in my dream like an animal. Like that kind of shit. Like, really fucking loud. But I was, like, doing that shit in, like in real life, too. I was doing that shit. And at some point my eyes opened and I was like just still like snarling and fucking like awake, dude, fucking for like a good few minutes, bro, but I couldn't fucking move. It was pretty fucked.
That's different. That's the first one I heard that hasn't held you down. I have a feeling, okay, and a lot of people agree, and that's what we're going to talk about, that by calling it sleep paralysis, we don't know what it is. And I had a very, very powerful mentor. I had a lot of great mentors in my life, okay? And one of the things that one of them said that always sticks out in my mind is if they label a disease, right, listen to how powerful this is. He said, in order for the label to be an accurate label, they must have a solution for that label. Otherwise, they don't know what it is, so they shouldn't name it. You can only name it when you know how to solve it. Until then, you don't know what the fuck it is because you've named it incorrectly. So this stayed out in my mind in that when they say things like epilepsy, right? And then they say, but there's no cure for epilepsy. It's just one of these, and there's no predicting yet. Okay, and oh, well, guess what? I don't think we're done researching in this shit at all. Okay, and maybe we should stop calling it epilepsy. Maybe that's the problem, right? Because the word prevents us from seeing it. And so if we didn't call it sleep paralysis, and I'll tell you, here's the really big part for me. Every person who's ever had that experience, just like you, Gloomy Puppet, it's actually affected them in life for the rest of their life, and they've never forgot about it. So is sleep paralysis attached to the type of dream that goes into as a memory and you remember for the rest of your fucking life? Because everybody seems to remember the shit out of it. Now, if it wasn't sleep paralysis and you were literally turning into a demon, right? And on your timeline, at some point, you experienced the feeling of turning into a demon, then I would understand why that memory would burn the shit out of your skull, because that's very, very supernatural. Or if I had some creature on top of me pushing me down, then I wake up and I'm like, I can't move, I can't move, I can't move, I can't move. Okay, great, got it. Who's to say? Who's to say that I'm not in an astral body, in another experience, fully experiencing that in the other body, and now that body could be dead, and now I'm here? Who says that there's not 1,000 other ways to see this? Okay, Chris, I'm going to hand it to you, Chris. Listen, first of all, I got two perspectives. The world of TikTok will get to know me. I want you to know me, like for real. All right? So here's what you need to know about me. Number one, okay? I think that all certificates are good enough for everyone to wipe their own assholes with it. I don't give a fuck if you're a lawyer, doctor, or God. It doesn't matter for your certificate. Number one, hey, how you doing, Robert? Number two, when somebody does have a certificate that they spent 12, 15, 20 years, they didn't sit on their ass and get a certificate. They did some shit. So the hard work, the discipline, and the commitment and the focus is always appreciated behind any kind of letters. And then outside of that, okay, cool, let's move on. So Chris, he has a PhD in environmental sciences. He's a master yogi, and he's part of a mastermind group I'm in that discusses these ideas and ideas of communication, relationship, and the subconscious mind. So I'm going to hand it to him first. What do you think about what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Everything I'm hearing, the words can just get us so focused in on like what we think they mean and what they told us it meant. And that inhibits us from seeing what it really is. Like something was happening today. I was hearing about, I think it was angels and different frequencies and forces of nature and things like that. And at some point it was coming up against some other models I had for the universe and models for the world, like just the vocabulary I was using to understand it. And it was like trying to fit a round peg in a square hole kind of thing. And I had to empty my cup. I literally emptied the cup of my mind of the words that I was using to understand what it was. And then it opened up, and it was a really unknown space. I was kind of unfamiliar, but I felt like I was finding all the notes in between the notes. Like the notes in music are like real defined frequencies, but there's infinite notes in between them. And so what I'm hearing about, like sleep paralysis and even that dream, I recalled a dream from myself that had to do with the Aliens movies and growing up. And there was just some helpless chase dream that I was just like helplessly being chased by this motherfucker, and the floor is being pulled out from under me, and I'm like, there's just no escape and whatever. And I wake up in a panic, and it happened for like many times, just kind of a recurring thing. And that was when I first came in touch with the power of Captain America, because my dad comes in, one of these late night scares. I'm like sweating at 3 a.m. or some shit. And, he was NSA, like, who knows, maybe they had something on us. But he comes in, he's like, who's your favorite superhero?
Wait, you're an NSA child, dude?
Yeah, my dad was a...
Oh, bro, you and I, we can't be friends anymore. Are you a spy in my life? I get why you've been around me this whole fucking time, exactly. Bro. You fucking... Well, on TikTok, it came out. Everybody hear that? Nation, hear that? That's an NSA kid. Hey, listen. NSA. Now that we're friends, right, and you don't want to destroy me anymore, and you see I'm not like bad, right? And now that you said upline all the fucking data, right? Did you have? Man, I hate saying those words on my TikTok. Did you have any? Do you have any inside information as a child that blew your mind, or no? Having a dad that was part of it that we wouldn't know. We'd be
Nothing I
surprised
think
if we
that would
knew.
be. I think there's just maybe stories, just regular military training stories that it'd be surprising, like how those guys were. Especially, I mean, he was back in the '70s and '80s and Ranger School, and it's just like I think some of those war stories. But as far as like disclosure of like
Yeah,
cosmic
yeah.
or aliens, ET stuff, I'll tell you this. You know, my dad really kept his non-disclosure statement always. Like he, even after retirement, like I couldn't get him to open up about anything on NSA. And his work
Oh
at
my
he didn't
god, dude,
start
you
at
make so much
NSA.
more sense to me now, dude. I had no idea.
Really? Yeah.
That's cool. That's like to me, that's cool, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's all comes together, like just how he trained me as a boy. But
Dang.
later, you know, I remember when I first came into like the 9/11 conspiracy or whatever, and, you know, I would tell my parents about it. I was like, probably, I don't know, like 20 years old or so when I came into that conspiracy. And, you know, I was a little discouraged that they wouldn't buy into it, but I wasn't even that sold into it. Like, I thought it was fascinating, but I was doing like a hell of other things in life. Like, that was just like my first, probably 9/11 documentary was my first conspiracy theory documentary. So it was just like, I didn't really know what to make of it. Later, though, when COVID happened and all of the QAnon stuff was coming out, and supposedly those are like NSA insiders and all kinds of government insiders like working together. And I had sent several things to my dad over time, but I just remember this one that talked about QAnon and had something to do with the white hats and the different military branches and organizations, whatever, that have like a shared information or whatever. So it was like a 12 or 15-minute video. And he like took it and ran with it. Like he went into the rabbit hole and he like got hella red pilled himself on like government stuff anyway. And so I always had the impression that something clicked for him because it's all compartmentalized. And I just feel like something clicked for him that he knew that when he heard about it in one of these QAnon videos, just tapped him into it. Because now I can, anything political, red pill, deep cabal, like all the way up until aliens. Like when I start talking ET with him, so I don't think he had any like close exposure or anything like that. But that's my experiences with him.
Okay. All right, let's pause. Marvelous, you're back. What's going on, Marvelous Minds? Good to see you.
Good stuff, bro. Good to see you guys too. That's crazy that dude right here is talking about all that stuff about that C-19 and stuff. I actually worked on a documentary exposing the Gwyn Towers, and
Wow.
which you know about cell towers, or you think it's cell towers today. And it's actually an event called Event 201. If you guys want to look that up, Event 201. That's what.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
And they use frequency warfare against your pineal gland, where your frequency comes from.
Yeah.
And what it does is it vibrates your pineals at such a rapid rate that it removes the oxygen molecule from the blood cell. So anything that you might have an ailment from, which is like liver disease, diabetes, kidney failure, anything that causes inflammation, and you could succumb to all that stuff that you're going through. And people think it's a flu that could be passed around, and it actually isn't. It's frequency warfare that they started or implemented in Wuhan, China.
Yeah, this is it's so cool that I know Chris. I can hear it in Gloomy Pop and Marvelous, right? There's three guys here, and all three guys are educated, which would be a self-education on what the hell they think is going on. You guys got to understand that. That's really, really dope, right? Like for us to understand each other, everybody understood everything that was said right now. All the guys did, right? We know where the person's coming from. We have our own research, so we see where we're matching, right? But I know I don't have all the truth, so I need to hear that. But it actually validates what I know. This is dope because, and look at the way I look at the way he looks, look at the way he looks, and we don't want to see what Gloomy Park looks like. Can you imagine, right? He's gloomy, okay? That's really dope. We got to meet two more people real quick before we go on. Okay, Caroline, what's going on? Caroline.
I think her mic is off.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Mac. He's making too much noise.
Okay, how's it going? What's happening?
Good, good. She's here at home, resting.
And where's home? Where are you at?
In Texas?
Texas. What part of Texas?
Round Rock.
Okay. And how many kids do you have? Two? I'm guessing.
Two.
You have two kids.
Yes.
Are you, let me not go there yet, okay? Question. How's your day been? How would you say, what was the best part of your day?
It's been okay. My new
Oh,
job.
it's been tough today.
Yeah.
Okay, pause. We're learning communication here, everybody. She said it's been a good day, right?
Yeah, it's been a good
And
day.
then, hold on, no. Then I said it's been rough. She said, yeah, here's why. After she said it was a good day, she took a big sigh. She went, right? And that sigh comes after a long day of, I just need to fucking relax. So your day, I assume your day was this today. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? The sigh was the real answer. Okay, Caroline, we're in the middle of a conversation. I just want to meet you quick, and we're going to jump to the next person. Lobita's back. Lobita's got the gift of, or the award. Adults only right now. She's got the award for the greatest tits. Clapping so far. Okay.
Yay!
There you go. Mo's in the picture now, and also great. An expert at BJ. But I wouldn't clap for her. I don't want my girl being an expert at BJ. Okay? But she's an expert in BJ. Okay, Lobita, what's happening?
Nothing. Had a good day, actually.
Yeah? You're glowing. Why are you glowing?
Well, because earlier I went outside and connected with Mother Earth. I went outside. It was raining real bad. And I just stayed out there for like 35 minutes. It was great.
Were you like a weird hippie? Were you like looking up going like, oh my God, the rain loves me. I'm hugging it? Or what happened?
Hell no.
How did you connect? Because you said connect with Mother Nature. Suddenly I saw you like, tribal American Indian, fucking fire around you, barefoot, but you went outside and it was raining.
No, it just felt good to be. I needed to be a little free today. So I went out there and enjoyed it.
Nice. Okay. All right. What?
I was.
Okay. Here's what we're doing.
Same.
Everybody listen. Here's what's happening.
Hi,
We're
Chris.
talking about sleep paralysis, and now I'm going to move it. I'm going to open up a little bit more. I'm going to talk about this, okay? Do you believe that there's certain type of dreams you have that if you could label it, you wouldn't label it a dream. You would label it something else, but it happens during dream time. So we all know what it's like to sleep. We all know what it's like to dream and not dream. But then we all, as I'm saying it, it's obvious, we all know this other thing that happens, which is like, I guess I was dreaming, but goddamn, it don't feel like it wasn't a dream. I know it, but it was. Why? Because what else was it? I was sleeping and I was dreaming and I had that. So
I gotta go. Somebody's beating on my door. I'll be back, guys.
okay, that's so scary. If they're beating on your door. Maybe they're not.
It's the paralysis demon.
Yeah. So look, if you take a look at a dream, in quotes, that you had that was maybe more than a dream, there's just no word to describe it. Now, I know something about Eskimos, right? Eskimos have like 70 words describing snow. What I call snow, they have at least over 50 words. So it's not one snow to them, right? They know all kinds of shades of snow. So we need more words to describe an experience that we can't understand what the fuck's happening with it, okay? So if we're taking a look and I go, all right, while I was sleeping, right, something happened. I think it was a dream because it felt like a dream, but I know it wasn't a dream. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. Ready? Here's what I know. If I go down every person, and I'll go out whoever wants to speak first. If I go down every person, I guarantee you something. If I said to you, can you go over that dream with us? It's going to be some movie shit. Epic. We all have this epic experience in our lives when we sleep, right? Some people say we're being taken from our bodies by different dimensional beings, and we're doing that. Some people say that our astral body is being taken by demons and spirits. I don't fucking know, but I do know this. I know what it's like to have a dream, and I know what it's like when it's not a dream, okay? And I don't have a word for it yet, so I call it experience. I'm having an experience through the night. But it's valid. Why? Because that experience changes the way I operate after I wake up. I had a dream, right? My dad died in my dream. My dad's still alive, right? In my dream, my dad died. and I was bawling. I was crying. I couldn't hold it. I was holding his face and touching it and trying to just love him, like come back to life, right? I woke up and I was crying when I woke up. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And I was missing my dad and I was going crazy. And then that day, I made a decision that I'm only going to love this man completely 100%. And I've stayed true to that. So I had a dream, in quotes, that he died. And then for the rest of my life, I was different with him. That's pretty significant to me. All right? I'm going to throw it around. Mo, what do you think about that?
What? Sorry.
Thank you, Mo. All right. Caroline, what do you think about that?
Sorry.
It's okay. We have girls on for just another purpose, not deep conversation. I was just trying to give you a chance, to be honest. That's why I start with the girls, okay? Because I know this is okay. Caroline, what do you think about that? Yeah.
Okay. Off. Oh, okay. So, why is it all the same? Like, where is it coming from?
What do you mean by that?
Why is there always a demon on me, like holding me down? What the fuck is that?
Okay, ready? Now I'm gonna ask you the question.
Yes.
But you're gonna pretend like you know the answer. My teacher taught me this. Watch what happens. Okay? I want you to go to a part of you that knows the answer. Watch this. I'm gonna ask you a question. You know it's happening to you. Why is it always demons? What would you say? What's the first thought that comes to you?
I think it might be that I was raised in Christianity and they were always scaring me about demons and demons and demons. And I think it just like imprinted in my brain, which I'm not a Christian anymore.
So let me ask you a question. If you took that answer, this is from my teacher to me to you. If you took that answer first of all, does that answer make sense to you?
A little bit.
No, let's make it make sense completely. What does make sense to you? Something, look at it.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why everybody experiences the same thing. And it's not just religion. It's not just where you live.
Forget everybody. Let's go to you. You know you, right? Let's do you. So why do you think you're seeing demons every time?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Okay.
Because it's only happened twice, and it's like random. Like I don't know what I was feeling. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't high or anything. Like I just randomly attacked.
Yeah. And if I ask you why, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Why is it demons? What comes to your mind?
Maybe I have some shit going on.
Like what? What comes up?
Like personal shit that's holding me down or something.
There you go. And what's the first personal shit that comes up? You don't have to share it. Just tell me if you see something. What's the first personal shit that comes up? You see something?
Probably my childhood, which I really don't want to share that story.
Right. That's why I'm saying you don't have to share it. I'm just showing you how your mind can work. I was taught how to move through the mind. I'm moving you through it. Watch what you know. Here's what you know so far. Tell me if this makes sense to you. You had this dream or this experience in the middle of the night with demon twice. Let me see if it makes sense to you. I'm going to read back your words to you, okay? This is because in your childhood, some things have happened that if you understand those things could end up while you sleep in this experience of you having that. Would that make sense, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good sound when he said yeah. Now, if that makes sense to you, I can tell you science and medicine doesn't know why it's happening. But to you, that makes sense. So every time it happens, you could literally get through it very quickly. Here's why. Ready? You go, instead of going crazy thinking about you just, all you got to do is your own truth. That's what my teacher taught me, my own truth. Your own truth that works for you is simple. Ready? When you were a child, some shit happened to you. And when you really look at it, these dreams do make sense when it comes to that. Then shake it off, baby, because that has to do with your childhood and it's over. What do you think about that, Mo?
It definitely might. Definitely might, or it's real.
There you go. That could be the other answer. Then we got to face the other answer later. I know. I've gone through that process, and then I've gotten to the second one, which is, okay, but what if it's fucking real? And my experience is real. Let me pause and go, oh, is that Roya?
Hi.
Is that your name now? Do I call you Roya?
Yeah.
Roya,
if you want, you can call me Yossi too. It's fine.
I'll call you Roya. Roya, where are you calling from?
California, Bay Area.
Bay Area. I used to be there. I know her from over there. Her and I are friends. Okay.
Heart.
What's going on? How was the day over there in Bay Area today?
It was good. It's getting a little bit cooler, but yeah, busy.
Roya, what's the hottest day you had this summer over there that you remember being in the car or walking outside?
The hottest day?
Yeah, what temperature that you remember? Were you like, it's fucking hot.
You know what? I feel like this year I didn't really experience like a lot of hotness. I was like inside AC rooms a lot. So probably like 100, 103.
Oh, that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
So I'm in Vegas now, right? It's first time living here during the season. So and it was consistently for weeks, it was over 100, like right away, right? And then the hottest I remember getting in the car was 112, and I was like, wait, is that even real? Like, should I be in my car right now, or am I gonna fucking toast up in here? You know? But it was hot. All right, Roya, we're gonna talk to you in a minute. Angela, what's happening?
Hey, how are you today?
What's going on? Where are you calling from?
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Okay, Fort what?
Fort Bragg.
Oh, I've never heard of that. How are things in Fort Bright?
I'm exposing this base for human movement. If I'm going to be real,
Yeah, go for it. What do you want to talk about? Go. But hold on. I want you to talk, but let me pause you. Okay, be ready for me to say pause. So go. What do you want to say?
I was kidnapped as a baby into a military agency family. I am whistleblowing on military projects my family were a part of. I posted their NDAs because I think it's war crimes against humanity on U.S. soil. My father was handed a baby the day he became a Green Beret, October 27th, 1987. His name was Master Sergeant Stephen Maggard, and he was unalived on Father's Day in 2007 after exposing his unit for human and illegal substance movement. His father, my grandfather, worked for the Pentagon. He was a part of Operation Jedi Warrior, also known as the 1st Earth Battalion here at Fort Bragg in the 80s. They made a movie about it called The Men That Stare at Goats. It was a project inside of the Stargate Project where my grandmother and him met. My grandfather's name is Sanders Eugene Maggard. My grandmother, Anne Elizabeth Jutman Maggard, her NDAs are declassified, some of them, for the Stargate Project. She worked with Hal Puthoff, Ingo Swann, Joe Monteagle. She was the first analyst in that project. She was a psychic remote viewer. They did stuff. I'm trying to bring awareness that they kidnap these babies, illegally adopt them into military agency families, and utilizing TRICARE test on them like guinea pigs. I'm specifically exposing Fort Bragg 3rd Special Forces Group of the 82nd Airborne Division and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, specifically Wright Laboratories, for war crimes against humanity on U.S. soil involving testing of adolescents. And then Johnson County Regional Airport being a sea agency black site that's retrofitted aircraft for human orture. They call them orture axes, put the letter T in front of both of those. Or the proper term is rendition flights, and that specific shell company is Aero Contractors LLC, AERO. So that's the gist of it. I did go through a lot of childhood trauma, and I cannot... Oh, yeah, my mom was unalived on my birthday in 2018 after I searched my whole life to find her. But I can't change anything that happened to me. The only thing I can do is try to use my voice to make as many ripples in the process so that other survivors don't have to deal with the abuse that comes after the fact once you speak up. I think that's worse than the initial trauma itself, if I'm going to be real.
How long ago did you decide to speak up?
A year after my mother was unalived on my birthday. She knew she was going to be taken out. If I'm going to be real, I inherited other people's battles.
I'm saying, how many years ago was that?
7.
So it's been 7 years that you've been talking about this.
Yes, I've talked to George Knapp, Ross Colehart, Tucker Carlson. If I'm going to be real, the advocates don't advocate. I'm taking down some big fish. And I used my real name. I'm not hiding, and didn't expect it.
The question arises naturally in me, right? Because first of all, you sound very believable. I'm very good at listening to sound, right? You sound very believable. So I'm not.
I have evidence.
Yeah, the evidence is the sound of your voice to me. So that's more than any paper. Papers could be fucking documented, but not your voice. I can hear it. So I know what you're saying. You're 100%
Thank you very much.
okay? So, but here's what's interesting to me, right? Then the question arises, right? For you, is it just a matter of time before you feel like something's going to happen to you that happened to others?
I'm going to be genuine, yes. And I have sons, and I don't want them to inherit what I did. And I have contingency plans set in place just in case. I use my real government name, and I have cards in my back pocket. I try not to cause any collateral damage, and I do have people that can verify my story that hold clearances today. So it's not just me against uncommon.
So can you tell us? I'm going to ask some questions that maybe you know something, maybe you don't.
Oh, absolutely. I'm an open book.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I just don't know if it's related to what you were saying. Are aliens real?
I was always told interdimensional beings, but if I'm going to be real from my personal experience, I believe in demons and angels. And I did not grow up spiritual or religious. I grew up in an occult family, and through my darkest chapters, I saw goodness, and I can't put it to words other than there's something there. But I do know that evil exists too.
Same here. I've had that same realization. That's incredible, right? So you grew up in an occult family? I
did.
That's fascinating. And when you say that, I get like images of Hollywood, so I don't fuck Hollywood. What is that? Tell me about it.
Ava Gardner. I don't know if you know who she is. She was a movie actress back in the day. That's my biological great aunt on my birth mother's side.
Okay. And so how does this, I'm trying to find out.
So I
grew up in an occult family. What does that feel like and look like?
It's pretty on the outside. It's torment on it. They don't have the emotions. If I'm going to be genuine, I felt it's not connected. They don't have empathy, dude. It's very cold.
Did you feel like your parents were fully human, or that they were not fully human?
So I was kidnapped as a baby. I don't know who my biological father is. I'm still trying to get those answers. I found my birth mother, and they took her out on my birthday. And I posted her obituary. I posted my father's.
Okay, what I'm asking is the people that were taking care of you. Did you feel like they were fully human, or did you ever think they weren't?
My adopted mother, I fully believed she was demonically possessed, and she still works for the government to this day. She lives in Enon, Ohio, outside of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
And when you say demonically possessed, do you feel that there was a spirit in her, or is that a spirit shape-shifting, or can you go further? What do you mean when you say
I have photos. I have photos from, and I can DM them to you, but if I show them on the live, it'll get reported. But I have no problem with DMing them to you, and they're also on my Twitter account. I just type in the word trigger, and it's up top. But my grandmother, who was a psychic remote viewer, was photographing and recording these things that were happening around me, and then they were gaslighting me and putting me through substances. So Wright-Patterson Air Force Base 91 to 99, I'm trying to expose that they test on children for these things, and then they gaslight us into thinking it's not real. The only good thing that I had is that my dad was a Green Beret, and he didn't have any power to fight my adopted mom's side of the family because they're filthy rich. And so he taught me things that saved my life, like journaling, writing everything down. If you have you're losing track of memory, write everything at the top of your head and just keep notes. Eventually you'll see a pattern. He taught me to be hyper vigilant, and that I resented him for a long time because I didn't understand. I wanted to be normal. And I am now, but it took a lot of therapy, and it took a lot of processing things. Well, apologies I'm never going to get. You know what I mean? And it's not everybody else's responsibility to tiptoe around my triggers. I owe it to not just myself, but to other people to face it till I make it instead of faking it till I make it. I think that's really crappy advice that causes a lot of self-destruction long term. And so I'm just trying to make the best out of it, whatever I can.
So are you able to share, growing up, any experiences that if somebody didn't grow up in an occult family, they'd be surprised or be, wow, that's different. What's different if I'm 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 17, versus the house next door, the neighborhood next door that is not a cult? What's different in my house?
So I had no outside interaction with other kids or other people until age 12. My adopted mother tried to unalive me at age 11, and that's how she lost her rights away to me. She took a kitchen object that you chop your vegetables with to my chest. It's not funny, but it's okay. She did a lot of things. Locked me in a dog cage, burnt my butt on a stove. This is all before age 12. And I started running away at age 5. So that's the only good thing that I have is that I do have police reports to document that there was abuse taking place. It's just, unfortunately, in the state of Ohio, if you have a lot of money, you can kind of get away with anything. And plus, I was adopted, so it's kind of a statistical type of thing. They don't know your roots; they just see, oh, she's adopted, and it's they can get away with a lot.
Do you have friends right now?
Oh, I do. I have a solid support system. I'm very thankful for that. And a few of my dad's battle buddies have stepped in to help me navigate this. So I'm thankful I'm not just walking in. It's okay. You guys don't have to empathize with me. I just really would like
don't worry
you to
about it.
focus.
You're talking to me. No, you're talking to me.
Okay.
Don't even worry about them. So
just
but
focus on the human movement. That's all I care about.
But I'm really interested, and I have a lot of questions. I just don't know if you have the answers to them. But I'm gonna keep asking if you don't mind. So,
I don't mind at all.
Do you? You're certain? You are certain of demons because you grew up in a cult family. Because why?
I've seen them. I've dealt with them. I have videos. I have photos.
Give me an experience of seeing or dealing with it. What age? What happened? What's going on?
So I was around 9 years old, and my adopted mother used to lock the door. Whenever I'd get off the bus, I'd have to sit outside and wait. And I was kind of a priss pot, and I would not pee outside, and I had to use the bathroom. So I had got the thought in my head that if I put a bucket at the window, I could open up the window and I could climb through. Well, I got my head in through the window, and the window fell down on my neck, and I couldn't move up with my shoulders. My hands were holding onto the ledge, so my arms weren't fully in, and my feet couldn't reach the bucket. And I was literally suffocating. I don't know how I ended up on the floor in my bedroom. The door was on my neck when I guess passed out. But I woke up, I don't know how long, after, on the floor in my room, no recollection of anything. And all that was in the house was 2 cats. This is in rural Ohio, Springfield specifically, and there's nothing around. You know what I mean? I did have a lot of interactions with that house, but nothing good. So, I mean, maybe they were, but I was so scared I didn't have the capacity to think any of that stuff was good. But
So
I
you
went to the
grew up-
bathroom, got back outside, and
Go ahead.
no, I got back outside and I acted like it didn't happen. But it scared the crap out of me. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was going to be unalived. I don't know how I ended up on that floor. Like
Right.
I have no clue to this day.
Right. And yeah, we talk about those experiences here, right? The experiences. Let's transition into that. Angela, do you have anything else as a message you wanted to say before I move on to the subject? And you're welcome to stay on.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm not saying that demons saved you. I'm just saying that
No,
there's
I'm
good
saying, do you
and
have
there's-
anything else you want to say in regards to your condition, situation? You're trying to get the word out, so I just want you to say
I
whatever you-
definitely believe that paranormal exists. I think that there's good and there's evil. But I think that people need to insource their information instead of outsourcing. You have a discernment for a reason. Utilizing it, trusting your gut, will help you get through some of the most unfathomable situations. And to remember to stay humble. It's mental fortitude over everything, and people can only meet you at the same level they meet themselves. So it's okay if not everybody's at the same point. I honestly am glad that they're not, because I know how painful it is, and I don't wish that on anybody. And I understand skepticism, and I just pray that people would research. I'm okay with people proving me wrong. I'm okay with questions. I just would like for them to treat other survivors and whistleblowers a little better. Because I've been doing this, well, I told you, for a long time now. I've been on this app for 5 years, and it's been tedious, but we're making progress. So that's a good thing.
Right on. Okay. So then that's what we're going into now. All right. I'm looking for an experience for someone to share that happened to them that can't be explained. I'm going to start with mine. I asked my parents this not too long ago. I'm 48 now. I asked them when I was 39. Right. I asked my parents this question. They were both in the room, and I said, in my life, was there ever any experiences as a child that could not be explained? And they were like, yeah. And so I found out some shit about my childhood. Okay. Then the reason I asked that question is because a lot of things happen in my life that I can't explain. Okay. So, but here's my story first. All right. So according to my parents, I was at the age where I could barely sit up. They had to put pillows around me. And then I had this crib that was off the ground. And then when it was off the ground, it had these bars that you put a child in like this. Okay. So they put me in the crib, and I'm crying like, ah, right. And my dad tells my mom, let him cry. If you pick him up right now, he's going to get used to that shit. Basically, let's train him to shut the fuck up. So they go sit in the living room, and I'm just crying like a motherfucker. A few times my mom says to my dad, let me go. And he's like, just like hang in there. It's almost done, right? And then suddenly they both realize at some point, they go, whoa, he's quiet. No more sound, no more sound. So then they get up to see if I'm okay. And according to them, and they were both in the room, as they walk over and they look over the bedroom, into where the bedroom is, they say I was outside of my crib. Now, just so you know, right, to put the child in the crib, you'd have to be as an adult, go like this, and then go like that, right? And I couldn't even sit, barely sit. They said I was out of the crib, I was on the floor, and I had my toys all over me, and I was just playing with my toys. And I said to them, how did you explain that? And they're like, well, I said, but isn't that like something you would want to kind of go further into? You know what I mean? Like, do you just go to sleep and like, well, good night, see you tomorrow, let's not talk about it. How the fuck did our kid get on the floor with his toys around him? Who did this, right? So that was my experience. Now, up until last night, I don't want to go to last night because I already told my story, right? Up until last night, I'm still having these types of experiences all the time. So is there anybody on who has an experience? It's not like a 30-minute experience, but 5 minutes or so. Okay, Chris, are you reaching for it? Is that what you're doing? All right, let's start with Yogi Chris. What do you got?
Well, it was a very simple experience, so I'll just tell you. I had this lamp when I was a kid, like young kid, probably up until about 9 years old. And it was just a table lamp that had a bendable neck, and it was a black airplane at the top that was like an old school propeller airplane, like from like World War One. And
those are cool.
The light bulb, yeah, like a bomber fighter kind of.
Hell yeah.
You do like dog fights in the air.
Yeah.
And so it was just it was a cheap lamp, but it was like a black airplane, and underneath it was the light bulb go. And then it's a bendable neck that you could, move it around, and then a little black base. So one day we had moved to another place. I grew up in Maryland. And so we're at this place, and I feel like it was pretty soon after we had unpacked some things. And, I don't know why, but I love this lamp. It was like my imagination. I don't know.
I love the lamp when you were talking about it. Everybody, something about communication is it's all vibration. So I'm loving the lamp, and now he says, I love the lamp. That means that when he was thinking about the lamp, the energy was in there. That's how you listen to people. My teacher taught me that. I know how to communicate. That's what I can do. Okay, go ahead.
For sure. So, I mean, I love this lamp, and so I knew the details of it. And it had these like plastic, man, I knew it. And so one day I come home from school, and the lamp was different, but it was still a black airplane on a bendable neck on a black little round base. And it was whatever it was, 12, 18-inch neck or whatever. But the plane was different, and the button was different, and the base was just a little bit different dimensions of like, it was just a different lamp, bro.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that was not my lamp. And I went around asking everybody, asked my sister, asked my mom and dad, and everybody thought they were looking at me, weird, like, what are you asking about this thing? But I was for sure, and I just ended up having to drop it. And just like, because there was no way I could confirm it anywhere. And later, more recently, I realized that was more, I interpreted it as a sign. I think it was a sign. And that was just the highest level sign, or that was the best way for my human consciousness at that level of development, who I was and where I was, to have a sign that there's just, for certain, something unexplainable. And it is explainable if I just, fast forward 10,000 years of technology or something, then I can explain it. But, it was just that one thing that, man, I've had other spiritual experiences with yoga and whatever that had that similar vibe, but that was one like from childhood that had like, it was just one of those unanswered mysteries,
I had a thought. Listen to this. Listen to what I heard, everybody. Listen to what I heard, okay? These ears were given by angels, okay? The tongue was given by the devil. It goes like this, all right? He said, I saw it as a sign. Ready? I'm going to tell you something right now, right? Him and I are in the same class that researches this stuff, right? I think that that was the sign right now that you're looking for. Because he said, I saw it as a sign back then, but that was what my consciousness was, blah, blah, blah. But in his whole life, this is the one totally unexplainable, but fully experienced. This is the one that tells him, are you going to take your own certainty or not? Like, you know that lamp more than anybody else. You know everything about it. Now you're going to have to say it didn't happen, or you're going to say if it happened. If it happened, how did it happen? I don't know. Good. Look for me. Look for me. And let that be a sign, as he said, in the future now, let that be a sign that we are real. Dang. Woo. That gave me chills. Okay. All right, Roya, what do you think about all this? Sexy.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, your story, I have a very similar one
No way.
that I swear that I was in one of those, and I was very little, like in some kind of a, kind of like a crib, like play pen thingy.
Yeah.
And my mom said that the same thing as you, like she couldn't explain how I, like all of a sudden I was out of it. And it was like a really secure one. And she said that she was really scared because there was like hot water there and everything. But I was like completely safe. Nothing happened, thankfully. But also, I have a story of my own that I always think about. And I believe it was an angel that I saw. So this was like back, because I was like born in Iran, so this was when I was in Iran, and I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, right? And this is, by the way, when we're getting like bombed by Saddam, so it's like things are kind of crazy. And
Are you and I the same age?
I think you're older, a few years older.
Okay, but I'm saying that because I was in the same war. So at some point, if I forget, before we go, I want to talk to you in front of everybody as two children that had bombings happen. Because that shit's happening right now around the world. And I want you to know her and I experienced that. And it would be great to talk to her about it. There was a young girl and I was a young boy. Right? Imagine that. All right, that's so fascinating. So go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
So I was in the car with my mom, and she parked the car, and she wanted to go, I think, grab some ice cream. She says it was ice cream. I don't recall the ice cream part. And I really wanted to go with her. And she said, "No, you have to stay in the car. You can't come with me." And I was crying. I was upset. But she locked me in the car. And I was looking out the window. And my mom is crossing the street. And I see a car hit my mom. And I see my mom go up in the air, hit the front of the car, and then just stop moving. And I mean, you can imagine, I mean, it was so scary. And I'm just screaming like, "Mommy." I think I didn't know how to open the car door.
How old were you?
I was like 4.
Okay.
Not even 5 yet, because 5 I went to Turkey for a little while. So I was probably 4. I don't think I could have been 3. I couldn't have remembered. So probably around 4. And all of a sudden, this lady appears, and then I felt calm, and she's just telling me, like, I remember her face, and she's just telling me, like, "Calm down, it's gonna be okay. It's okay." And I'm like, freaking out, and this lady is just talking to me. And then I don't remember anything after that. I do remember asking my parent, like my mom not my mom, but like my dad, "Who was that lady?" And he's like, "What lady?" And I'm like, "That lady."
Wait, let me understand something. Are you telling me that in your life you did actually see your mom get hit by a car?
I saw her. I was looking out the window.
Did she survive?
Yeah, she did. Thankfully.
Oh, I thought you were getting a vision. This happened.
This happened, yeah.
And then after this happens, some lady appears where? In the car?
She was outside of the car, but she brought, like, I remember feeling like, it's gonna be okay, I'm safe. And she was just, like, the way she was talking, though, it wasn't like a normal person. It was different. And then I could hear her, but it was so much commotion. Like I don't. But she wasn't talking loud, but I could hear everything she was saying, almost like I could just hear it in my head. You know, like I could hear her thoughts.
Wow.
So, and they were like, "What lady?" Like there was no lady and everything. And I truly believe that was an angel. And I mean, thank God that I wasn't with my mom. Like she didn't take me with her because I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be here.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. Hi, Electra's here. I'm going to be finishing soon. So I want to tell another story now. Okay? All right. Okay, Electra just found $50. There you go. On the floor. Even better. Okay? So listen, watch this. I want to end with this story. This is a very powerful story. It happened to me and my sister. Okay? In 1987, there was a very big earthquake in San Jose, California. It was 8.7 or 8.9 or some shit. I think it was an 8.9 earthquake, okay? Happened in the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz area. And I'm going to make a long story very short. My mom and dad, they were both at work, and we were immigrants here, and they had to be at work. I was stuck at a martial arts academy with my sister, and I was 11 years old, I think, and she was 4, all right? And so this earthquake happens, the martial arts academy decides to close, and everybody goes home, and I'm there with the instructor, and the instructor saying, "Where's your mom and dad?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I could barely fucking speak English." And I'm like, I don't know. And then he's standing around looking at his watch, and I'm like, I'm freaking out because what's going to happen if he goes? Like, I live about maybe like 6 blocks away. I could walk there. But the whole earth shook and everything was broken, you know? So I was scared. So at some point, I remember he tells me, he goes, "I have to go." And I remember still being nice at 11 fucking years old. And I was like, "Oh, no problem. You know what I mean?" And I was like, fuck. So then I grabbed my sister's hand and I walked through this neighborhood. As I walked through this neighborhood, it's being looted. Safeway is being looted. People are running. People are screaming, right? It's just loud. And we're just walking. And I have my martial arts uniform on, and she's just walking with me. We get to my house. I don't know where my parents are. I had a key. I go in the apartment. The moment I open the door, I see that there's glass everywhere. The stereo was turned over, the TV, and I get scared. So I shut the door. I go and I wait outside with my sister by this gate. As we're waiting by the gate, we're just standing there. 1 hour passes. There's no cell phones, just so you know. I'm just a kid with another kid, with no mom and dad, and shit's going everywhere. People looting. I remember people running, people yelling. I'm just standing there with my sister. Another hour passes, right? The sun begins to set, and I'm just standing there with my sister, and I'm praying, because my parents taught me how to pray. My mom taught me how to pray. I'm praying. And then this little lady, she was a little chubby. She had blonde hair, and it was curly on top like this, and kind of shaved on the bottom, almost like a dyke-style hair like this, you know? And very jolly. And she had some kind of necklace, I remember. I don't remember what it was, but it was something hanging here. She's wearing like a white button shirt with like a blue blazer almost and blue jeans. And she walks up to us and she says, "Hi." I'm like, "Hi." She says, "Where's your mom and dad?" I said, "I don't know." And I remember when she looked around. She looked around like this. And she said, "Okay, I'm going to wait with you." Now, the sun is beginning to set, right? I want you to know, this was around 4 p.m. because the martial arts academy starts at 4. So it was right before class, right? 3:45 or so probably. So my mom arrived at our house at 11 p.m. It was pitch dark, right? It was my sister and I, and we've been standing outside for 7 hours, okay? And there was a lady standing right next to us for 7 hours, saying nothing every once in a while. "You good? You okay? You okay?" Then my mom comes. I see the lights, and I recognize the Saturn lights. She had a Saturn. I get so excited. She comes. The lady says hi. We go into the house. There's no electricity. They burn a candle. My mom gets her name, puts it on a little piece of paper, thanks her, goes, and it's a whole adventure. What happens with me, my mom, my sister after that. But here's what happens, okay? The next 2 days, about 2 days later, everything's getting together. We're back in the house. We're in our own place, okay? And what happens is my mom says, I'm going to call this lady and thank her. So she goes in the cupboard. She takes out this little piece of paper. I remember. And her name, ready? Her name was Angela. Angela. She calls the number. Someone picks up. And my mom says, hi, I was looking for Angela. And they said, there's no Angela here. And she says, oh, Angela. No. She hangs up. She looks at the number again. And she dials again. She dials 3 times. The same person keeps picking up. And then she says to me, I think I got the wrong number. I said to her right then, no, Mom, God sent her. And then my mom said to me, you're right, son, God sent her. So that's my story. All right, everybody, I got to get going. That was dope. Royal, good to talk to you. Carolyn, nice to meet you. Gloomy Puppet, you're just one of those guys that's cool. Like if you were a cartoon, Naruto, you'd be Sasuke. All the girls would like you. Mo, nice to meet you. Yo,
Nice to meet you too.
All right, see you guys soon.
Bye, y'all.
Be the best, fuck the rest. Let's go.